I am here at 8 o'clock. Can you believe it? It's not coming on, so it finally showed itself. 8 o'clock, and here we are. So how are you guys doing this morning? It is an amazing morning, and I am live at 8 o'clock. Hi, Azim. How are you this morning? It's 8 o'clock. For some reason, things were slow coming on. So, hi, Julie. Hi, Nancy. Sorry. I always call you Julie. Hi, Gavi. How are you? Good morning, everybody. It is 8:01, and it came on at 8. So I have no idea what happened. I pressed the button, but it took its time. So here we are. So today, I look at the topic. I don't even know if I spelled anything wrong or right. I just put the power of journaling, the power in journaling. Good morning, Loretta. How are you? Hi. Yeah, good morning, Bernadette. How are you this morning? Those of you who celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday, I am hoping I'm not hoping. I know you had a great day. And if you didn't, it was only because there were so many personalities in the air. So remember that and enjoy your day because it's a new day. So do not go back. Stop talking about Uncle Joe because he drank too much. On Auntie Daisy, who is going a little bit off. Just enjoy. You had faces at the table you could look at. That's the most important thing. Remember, you ate, you savored, and there were faces you might not see next year. So enjoy those moments that you had. So let us look at it. I said the power of journaling, the power in journaling, however you want to take it. Journaling is something that if you do it, you will never ever stop doing it. It is an amazing thing to do. So one of those things I know about journaling is that it reduces stress. And it boosts your creativity. It makes you feel better. It does make you feel like I emptied myself. And many people, it is therapeutic. It is, and you're so right, Azim. Many people do not think that journaling is like it's easy. They think it's difficult to journal, but it's not. Journaling can be scribbling. Journaling can be musing. Journaling means you took time off. A comfortable 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be hours and hours. If you're fortunate to be like some of us who loves to journal anytime, anywhere, a journal. So we have maybe many journals. But there's some people that they have the wrong idea about what journaling does. And it really is not a hard thing to do. It is something to do with pleasure. So it is a tool to express our thoughts and our feelings. That's what it is. It is actually the one way for sure you can express your thoughts. And then you can also do your feelings. I do a lot of thoughts and feelings. I'm journaling. I do it a lot. I separate them. I do thoughts by themselves, and I avoid expressing my feelings when I am taking my thoughts and I'm opening my thoughts to say, okay, this is not how I want you to look. So a thought comes around the corner and I'm journaling about it. I'm writing about that thought, what I'm thinking, and then I'm putting it down. When I look at it, because as you're reading it, you're digesting it. As you're writing it, you're digesting it. So you can look back for a glance at what you just wrote. And you will notice, is that where you want it to go? Watch what happened after that sentence you just wrote. That was really not nice. So journaling can be broken down by thoughts. Observe how your thoughts see others and how you see others. So observe your thoughts and see through your thoughts how you see other people in your life. Because that is where journaling really, really helps us to be able to clear that away. So when we look at our journals and we have written in them, if we go back ever, and some people do, I do off and on, I'll just open a page because what I know when, and I sometimes even know where I was because on the top of my page, there is my name, the date, the time, and maybe where I was sitting. And if it's somewhere not home, I will put the address. If it's outside underneath a tree or in a garden or in a park, I will say that. Because the environment in which you are also affects your journaling. And, you can start journaling if you haven't done it and you have no idea how to begin it. It doesn't have to be a particular book. Of course, you know I have all my books, my goal setting journal, the gratitude journal, the book of proof. I have all of these books about journaling, and it talks about your writing. So when you are journaling, when you begin, after at the top of the page, you put your name, address, your phone number, whatever you want to put there. I think your name, time, date, and where you are. You can also say what is your experience in that moment. How are you feeling? Is there a breeze? Is it cold? Is it warm? Are there animals around? What's happening in your environment at the time? Not, I escaped a bad situation, a confrontational conversation. Not that yet. It's just where you are. Where you are. So journaling is important to say where you are. And then what you're feeling in that moment. Although it's going to be about your thoughts, but you're feeling something while you're sitting there. And you can do your journaling if you want by standing, leaning your back against a tree. Think of the energy you're drawing into yourself when the tree is at the back of you, and you're absorbing that energy, because you know the tree will open up and swallow you up. Not physically. But the energy of the tree will say, you want more, here is more. The tree doesn't judge. The tree does not say, you cannot do that. Hi, Lynn. The tree, when you open up to the energy of a tree, you lean back on a tree. Try it and see how you feel. If you press your back into the tree, and you can actually feel this happening to you. And eventually, if you're calm enough, if you're in the moment, you'll take your shoes off and you ground there for a minute. And you let the tree open up for you, you will feel a difference. Once you have come to that point, if you're able to stand and write your feelings, your thoughts, what's going through your mind. And if you came out to write your thoughts because something disturbing was happening in your life and you walked away from it, and you said, I want to journal about this. I want to journal about how this conversation or what this situation makes me feel. When you have connected with nature, barefoot on the ground, your back against a tree, you will notice that when you start to journal, it will be more releasing. It will not be so much blaming. It will be more letting go. Because you're out in nature. If you can do it, try journaling. You can walk with shoes, but when you get there, just for a moment, it's not going to be all contamination all the time. And stand there and see what you can do. And if you're able to even sit on the ground with your back against the tree and write, just begin. Because when you open yourself to your thoughts in the form of writing them, remember, thoughts connect to heart. Heart connect to hand, hand to pen, energy to paper, energy. The same tree you're leaning from might have been a species of that tree that created the paper you're writing on. They know each other, the energy. You can meet somebody somewhere and you see their smile and you say, I know I'm related to that person. Even if the person knows you and you don't know them, but the way they're coming towards you and the smile coming from their faces, you can say, that person is a family member. I don't know them, but it looks like they know me and I can see the resemblance. That's what the paper and the tree are going to say. And they, again, remember, they will conspire to give you a good time journaling. Journaling is so important. Journaling can be broken down, as I said, into those, especially when you're journaling and you break it down. See where your thoughts go. Especially if it's somebody you like, someone, especially someone you love or know, to think about them, you think about them in a good way. Because if you're going to journal and you're having a conversation with somebody that you know, you love, you cherish in your journal, make sure what you would say to them to their face is what you're writing about. If you're angry, then that is different. Then you speak it out, because you have to remember it is safer writing in your journal than telling somebody something. In your journal, you can be honest about your feelings, your thoughts. You can be honest there. It's not a book you leave lying around for prying eyes to get into and point out what you did that was wrong. Your journal is a sacred book. If you look at the old-fashioned journals, they all have a lock or a type of a thing that ties them around. So that tells you they're special. They're to be favored. They're to be placed in a high place, high position, hidden from prying eyes and critical tones and voices and opinion makers, assumption seekers. You have to take it away from them. So that's why in your journal, be honest. Be hi, Ezra. Hi, everybody. Hi, you. I didn't say hi to anybody. So good morning, and I'm sorry. I apologize. So when you are journaling, especially for someone you love or know, to think about them the way you would think about you. So remember to draw that journaling time. Like, how do you think about that person? Do you think about yourself that way? Make sure you do that. Morning, Ezra. In your journal, you should always connect with your feelings also. I have two of them, one for my thoughts and one for my feelings. And our feelings are actually so important. Our feelings really direct our energy, and our feelings keep us in the joy of the moment. It's the feeling that makes you do. How do you feel? Many times people ask me, how are you doing? I always say, how are you feeling? Me is your feeling that matters, because how you feel is how you do. You feel good, you do good. So it shouldn't be how you're doing. You could be doing terrible today. But how is your feeling? How are you feeling in this moment? So write about, in your journal, write about how you feel about something you saw. Our feelings are attached to our emotions. Our emotions are attached to our five senses. Remember, those five senses are not to be just, neglected and let them just float. Our feelings and our emotions are connected to those five senses. How you feel is how you're going to react emotionally. If you're feeling crappy, you're going to react crappy. Where did that start? Is it because you taste something you ate and it's making your stomach hurt? That's your sense of taste is there. You have had heartburn or whatever that is a taste. Something you heard and you didn't like the words the person used. How is that making you feel in the moment? Express that in your journal. Your journal is your confessor. Your journal does not judge you. Your journal does not make assumptions about you. Your journal does not ask you to be a certain way, to form opinions. It doesn't. Your journal just lets you be you. So talk to your journal. What you heard. I heard something and it really bothers me. Or that I saw a situation that wasn't nice. You see what I mean? That's journaling. It affects your five senses and your feelings. It affects your emotion. Let your journal be the person you want to dump on. And if you are not a journaler, but you are a complainer, you're going to be irritated when you attempt to start writing in a journal. You'll just get frustrated. But that doesn't mean you stop, because you want to be able to have a journal. If Anne Frank didn't write about her experience during the war, we wouldn't know about her diaries, would we? So your journal is a history of where you are at a certain time of your life, that a person that doesn't know you, never met you, and maybe a family member can read about you and say, that was what she was like. Especially if you are able to write it clearly and distinctly, so somebody later on in life will read it. Always remember, you are leaving a trail behind you. That's just how life goes. So your journal, you begin on the page with your name. Claim your name. Do not be ashamed to say you wrote that. Name, date, and time, and where you are and how you're feeling. My friend was pregnant with a baby, and she was sitting by the window journaling. She's long dead. We worked together for years, and she lived across from us, in a sense, at the back of when we first got married, where we lived. Her name was Doreen. She was from Aurelia. She was a white woman I met at work. and she was pregnant, and she said she was sitting at the window watching the snow just fall, and she was journaling, and she said, that looks like velvet. And that is how she named her daughter. The snow reminded her of velvet, and she named her daughter Velvet. I always remember she telling me this story. When I met her, she had just had the baby. But what I am saying is, in journaling, you become creative. I said that at the beginning. Journaling reduces stress and boosts your creativity. You become more creative because you're getting to the point where you're writing. And you might be shocked at what you just wrote. It maybe has nothing to do with what you came there thinking about. It might have been just looking at something and realizing where it came from. Like she looked at the snow and saw velvet. When you look out at the world, what do you see? When you look at somebody, do you see what is wrong with them, or do you see what is beautiful, amazing, spectacular about them? Can you pinpoint something you like in the face of the people that you love? And write about what it is you like. You might not have a fight with your daughter, your son, but do you like the tenacity that they have? Do you wish you had their determination, their tenacity, their ability to hold on no matter what? Stand up for themselves. Were you able to stand up for yourself? So when you criticize or you say you don't like a quality in one of your siblings, your children, ask yourself that question and write about it. Would I love to have this in me? I wish I had that determination, that fearless attitude to just go for what I want. So you see, journaling makes you think. It brings you to a different level. And what hurts you, you let it go. In the book, and the book has no opinion. The pages of your journal is not going to come back at you unless you put words to come back at yourself. And as you know, we are our own worst critics. So that is why we have to learn to avoid criticizing ourselves in our writing. This is why I tell you to use impeccable and exquisite words when you're talking about yourself and others. So when you go to write them, hi Marina, when you go to write them, you will also be writing something that is impeccable and exquisite. As I said, the aggression or the confidence or the stick-to-itness or the determination or don't give a damn type of attitude in a family member does not mean that you should hate them for that. Look at it and say that makes them unique, amazing. That makes them strong, stand for their own. So when you're journaling and you come across talking about a family member, use something that you like. How would you like me to write about you? Say, you know what? My sister is that type of person, but man, she knows how to enjoy herself. She knows how to have a really great time. I wish I had. It's not good enough. Celebrate the determination, the tenacity, the don't give a damn type of attitude in a human being. Because if you observe them, they survive. They don't need somebody to say, okay, you're good enough. They know they're good enough. And they're shining and they're going forward and they might dazzle you. But celebrate that. Journal about it. When we journal about what is amazing in others, we also get the time to see ourselves. That's why you use words that are impeccable and exquisite when you're talking about people. Make sure they understand that you know they are unique. They cannot be like you. So journal with love. Your journal will give you, it will distress you. It will get you to let go of what you think you should drag from last year into this year. Remember, when 2024 hits, 2023 is only a memory. And if you take the negative things, because we all have those little blocks or detours or jams or challenges on the way, and you drag it into the new year, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So empty it in your journal. Write in your journal. Your journal does not criticize you. Your journal does not tell you you're not good enough. Your journal is allowing you to be honest. And these are your thoughts. So when you get to your feelings in your journal, connect with your feeling inside. Yesterday on YouTube, I did a live on this a sensual woman. And many people thought, when you hear the word sensual, is sexuality. It is, but not the way you see it. And it's something you can develop when you are deep inside of you and you feel that feeling that, how am I feeling right now? Talk about that feeling. Because one day you might pick up that book and flip the page and end up right there. And that is the day you need to know there was once upon a time I felt magnificent. But even better, you're leaving a trail. It's a breadcrumb. What about the great-grandchild that comes across your journal? How many times we have looked at the writings of our family? My mother was left-handed, but she was forced and beaten with the nuns on her hands, so she had to write with her right hand, because in those days a left-hander was considered a child of the devil. So her writing is not perfect. The only thing my mom did with her left hand was write. And her writing was not beautiful. She used to admire ours because it was formed that way. But we still were able to read her letters, her postcards, whatever she wrote, we read it. Because we forced her to explain it to us, since some of it couldn't be formed because those nuns did that. But the point about it, the journal that you're writing today, whether you're typing it, the thing about a journal, for you to feel this thing, you must use your fingers. I know it's nice and sweet to pound it on the keys of a device and say, I journal on my device. It's nice. But if you have never done some journaling, take my word for it. Go to the store. When I go to get a journal, this is mine, a gratitude journal, which you guys know, all my books on where? Amazon. When you go to buy a journal, you must caress that book. Silly, eh? When I go to buy a journal, when I pick it up from the shelf, I hold it like this. I haven't decided if that's the one I want. I touch it. I play with it, because in there is going to be my fondest or my most frightening or my most amazing memories. That's what's going to be in there. How I was feeling in 2021, in the middle of COVID. How was I feeling when I climbed up, when I went to Mont Blanc in Switzerland? How did I feel when I went on the gondola across from Spain to Italy, from Switzerland to Italy to Spain? That's in my journal. How I felt when I looked up at Mont Blanc and I saw the snow-capped peaks. That's in the journal. And that is why it should be important. You open the book. It's maybe blank, nothing in there. But this action here is going to make you know that's the right book. Do not buy a journal based on the price. Buy a journal on how it makes you feel when you touch it. You have to touch it like this. You have to feel the rim. You have to feel this. You have to make sure you can do this. Because a journal, if you see people with a journal and they're getting ready to write, it's right there. It's right on their chest, on their hat, and they're going and they're ready with it. So take your time to choose your journal. Then make sure you have the most amazing, suitable blue pen for you. It has to be your blue, your pen, the one you like. Light, heavy, whatever. Cherish it. It is enabling you to put your deepest secrets in there. You might have a secret of a lover, somebody you have a crush on, or somebody you had an affair with, whatever. And that pen and that journal is going to allow you to remember, and to remember the situation as if it is happening in the moment. So you understand now how important it is to journal and to have the right tools to journal with. They don't have to be expensive. They just have to meet your vibration. That's all you want them to do. Meet your vibration. Expense never is the point on a journal, on a pen to write in your journal. Journaling on feeling is extremely important. There are those pages of your journal that when you look at them, you're going to go, really? But then that might have been your honesty. Your journal allows you to speak openly, to be honest, to feel good about yourself. That's what your journal allows you to do. Or to correct yourself. Or is that how I felt? Because remember, I always tell you, after you have done something, you should be able to say, I love how this made me feel. oh, I don't like the feeling I got from this. It's all about feelings. It doesn't matter what you do. If you cannot feel it, you're not getting it. Your feelings comes in play because those feelings comes from your five senses with your emotions. Remember that. Your emotions are driven by your five senses and your feelings are the result of the drive. So emotionally, those five senses control you, really, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, and what you touch. And then that opens up your emotion and it gives you a feeling. And that's why you need to write about yourself so that you get to know. The more you go and you say, you know what? I really do not enjoy this. But I always ask you to remember how it made you feel. I love the feeling I get when I do this. And you want more, don't you? That's what happens with us in ecstasy. That's why we go back for more. Because that feeling that is so fleeting, so short, so tiny, we go looking for it again and again. But I dare you to say that. You will not say that. You will not write it in that book either. Fear of somebody reading that, really, I enjoy ecstasy. So you see, that's why journaling is important. It's the secret. Your journaling is your journal is your confidant. Your journal is your friend. Your journal is never too busy or not available. Your journal is always there for you. Your journal is never too busy to talk to you. Your journal never dismisses you. Get to know those pages because they're available. They're your best friend. Prepare yourself for journaling. Use your mind and plan it. You know, always have a cup of tea or wine or water or something when you're journaling. Whatever relaxes you the most, do it. I am not asking you to go pray before you journal. I'm asking you to relax before you journal. I'm not asking you to beg in your journaling. I'm asking you to express your thoughts and your feelings in your journal. Make more room for new things to come. This is why you take it from your heart, your mind, and you put it in the pages. That's where the creativity bursts. Be comfortable. Enter into journaling with an open mind. Relax and do your best to let it come through. Let your thoughts or your feelings come through. Lead it. Let it come out. Let it have its way with you. Let your journal be your lover. It opens up to you. It accepts you. It loves you the way you are. It's honest. It does not judge you. It's not saying, why did you think that? It will not ask you why you wrote that. It will accept you. It will digest you. It allows you to be honest and free. And it's waiting for you. The door is never closed to journaling. It's, as I said, it's your best friend. It's never too busy to love you. It's never too busy to be available for you. You will never get a busy signal when you open your journal. It's just waiting for you. That's all it is. It's just waiting for you to come visit for a while. So thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate each and every one of you for dropping by. Some of you were new, and if you're still here, thank you for hanging. If you came and you got a peep, thank you for doing that too. So let's see who's here. Hi, Nancy, Ezra, Lisa, Ryan, Loretta, and my nephew. Thanks, Gavin, for holding on. It is amazing to have you guys here this morning. So thank you so much, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys next week. So remember, tomorrow at 9:30, we are doing the yoga, no recording. So you're free to stretch and do your thing. Sunday is our final Sunday self-care show for 2023. We are talking about you coming on and share. So if you, even in your pajamas and a cup of tea, come on and say what you got from 2023 Sunday self-care show, what you have learned. And remember, it's for both men and women. So have a wonderful day and drop by on Sunday, most of all 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on. When you're doing yoga, you can sit or lie down flat and just sit there. You do not have to do it if you can't do a pose. But just being in the room at the time, they say, has amazing effect on this. And of course, Sunday self-care, we will talk, but we want you to tell us what you were thinking, where you were, what happened. Because it's so important for you to say what it is you learned from Sunday self-care. And if you have a topic you would like us to talk about next year, bring it up too. We would love to do that for you. Because you see, the yoga class is something that came out of Sunday self-care. Thanks, Marina. So that is what you have to remember. The yoga class, somebody brought it up and said, let's have a yoga class on Saturday morning. And there we are. For all the tips on how to journal, you have an amazing. Thanks, Nancy. You're going to clean up after Thanksgiving. Take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys sometime later today. Ezra, when are you going to Dominica? I need your date. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye.